one of the questions I'm curious about what you just said is why do you think it is that the fitness industry is so slow to innovate? I mean, we're seeing innovations and changes in, we've seen it happen in like adding a heart rate monitor to a group class and doing something a little bit differently, using an app to book in or something like that. But why do you think that I've seen a lot of like small pivots, but not big innovation? Why do you think it is that the people in the fitness industry are so slow to really like change or adapt to rethinking the business model, as opposed to just sort of making minor, like making sort of technical changes within that same old business model?
The biggest one is, feet in the doors. We have been stuck in an industry where the model is, we have a big facility or a small boutique facility, and we can't keep the lights on unless we have people in the doors.
Yeah.
And we've pushed away from going virtual for years, because the idea was, if you put online, they're not going to want to come. And, I responded to one person who said something, they do an online program, one of the companies that has an app, and they can go online and do this and that. And they've been around for years, and it's great. And that's for that person, so everyone's looking at finding that dollar, right? And we're all fighting for the same dollar, but at the same time, people who are doing online programming are a different dollar, okay? Because they're not going to be going to the gym. They don't want to go into a gym. So what I found is that the reason we haven't changed is because we're not looking to get people working out outside of our brick and mortar.
Yeah.
Right. We're stuck in that brick and mortar. What was it? Mendocino, the retail company. I think it was Mendocino. They went and they just announced last week that they're not going to be doing brick and mortar. They're closing every single one of their brick and mortar stores in the country to sell exclusively online. Okay. Well, they learned that they could make more money online. I went to a Best Buy during the pandemic to go pick some things that I had to get. And I had to reserve it online first, get in line, get to the store. It was ready for me. And I said to the guy at the front there, I said, let me ask you a question. Are you making more or less sales now? Like what he has, we're actually making more sales because they're targeted sales. You can't come here to browse. You have to come here to buy.
Yeah.
That was it. Right. And we need to, that's what the brick and mortar is in gyms in the industry, is that we need to sell, keep our attrition rate as low as possible. And, that's done by your staff, right? Your staff are going to be the ones who keep people there. I've been in gyms that are not the cleanest years ago, because we know we're all getting better at cleaning, but they're going because of X, Y, and Z. That's why they're joining the gym half the time for that instructor. So that changes. We'll come back to it later on about how we pay instructors and trainers, but that's what's driving people in. So they're scared to let them go online and do virtual. They don't want to lose their clientele. And, Japan showed this, that when they closed down and they went online temporarily, when they reopened the gyms, they brought in their virtual instructors again, and they actually got busier because all the people watching online now wanted to go do a class in person. So that's where the brick and mortar has to branch out and say, okay, we got to go virtual. So that's where group fitness changes. We have to go virtual. Is it the exact same fun? No, but at the same time, perfect timing, Peloton did amazing during this because they were offering something that nobody else was. They're doing it before the pandemic.
Yep.
And, getting a shout out. I had a friend of mine who posted online, oh my God, I got a shout out on my birthday today in my Peloton ride with so-and-so. And I'm like, wow, that's awesome. I didn't want to, burst their bubble and say, it's a recorded class. The algorithm wished you happy birthday. But how does that differ than in class? So Peloton took their what we got in class and figured how to get that same community sense and that culture outside of the brick and mortar. So we kind of have to pull it together, and the brick and mortar has to get their head wrapped around that it's not just boots in the door. It's getting that community and going online and charging a membership for it. Even getting out of this pandemic, if you're able to offer classes online for people who are still nervous to go to the gym, that's still a membership. right? They're
Yeah.
able to keep now you can get your revenue, which you need to be open, and then at the same time say, hey, we're here for you. We're here to make you safe and comfortable. And when you're ready to come back, you'll come back. But
Yeah.
in the interim, we want you working out. So here's our programming online. And that's really why I think people have been fearful. They don't want to go online and allow people to not go into the gym.
Well, yeah.
They're
Well,
stuck on the fact that you need to be on a treadmill to make money.
yeah, it goes. I mean, again, like, if people want to go back to earlier podcasts I did at the start of the pandemic, talking about this new business model, we go through all this stuff, and you go through either the numbers of it or the reality of it. You're right. There's a reticence to do that. They feel like they're devaluing. Anytime they're giving away some programming, they're devaluing selling training sessions. And I've always kind of tried to make them think about it the other way, which is, you want the free stuff you do is all lead generation for selling service. And we need to think more about it being a service-based business and not an access-based business. And that not everyone's going to be able to, like, no one disagrees when you say, hey, would you be better working with a trainer 6 days a week? Everyone agrees that they would be.
Of course.
So it's more of like, how do we, and this is the whole premise behind Trainer Plus, like, how do we scale that value of a trainer and create a more range of services where people can engage at where they think they need to be today, and then reevaluate on an ongoing basis if it's working or not for them, and adjust service up and down as that is. And the premise being, and the philosophy that I have put on a lot of content out about is look, if you meet people where they are and start with something, that's going to prove your value, and you can reach a broader audience that way. And if you look at the numbers of it, I mean, you've hinted at a few of them. What's changed in the fitness industry over the last 10 years? Well, we've seen a 100% increase in facilities. The number of facilities has doubled in the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
The revenue has gone up 50%. So it hasn't doubled. It's gone up 50%. And the engagement in gym memberships has gone from about 15% or so to about 17.2 in North America, at least over the past 10 years. And so about the same amount of people are going to the gym, and there's twice as many options, and most of those people are just spending more money on some more options. That's really, if you look at the economics, you look at the numbers, that's kind of what it's bearing out, right? So everybody is competing for that same 17%, with a better mousetrap, a better offering, whatever it might be, which there's no way that that's sustainable. And that's where it comes back to, how do we reapproach this as a service? And how do we engage that? And if you're actually offering services that aren't predicated on people necessarily coming to your gym, now your potential customer pool is much, much larger. And that's where it's like a little bit of short-term pain to adapt to that. And yeah, maybe you end up losing some members and churning a few people, but you're able to offer more. And maybe you cannibalize a few training clients who are like, actually, I realize now that I just need a program. I don't need the trainer 2-3 times a week. But there's always going to be those people who are like, I don't work out unless I'm with you, my trainer, or I get way more value when I'm with my trainer in my group class. Those people aren't going to go away. If anything, we see the value of that build when people think, oh, all I need is a program and some oversight. And then they go, oh, I didn't work as hard, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I forgot to keep my in. And, because it's really this mentality shift of like, what we sell isn't that content, that information. What we sell is support. What people need is the support itself. It's not just like the exercise, the workouts, because anybody can go on Instagram, on YouTube, on bodybuilding.com and get a workout, or get exercises. That's not hard to find, way more so than ever these days. But it's really the support that they have. And it's like the analogy I always use is the restaurant industry. Like, a recipe isn't like protected IP, but people come back to that restaurant because of the way the chef prepares it, the way they adapt the menu over time, the way it changes, right? And that's really for the fitness industry, is the support. It's how you use those tools for that individual, because every individual needs an individual plan that adapts to them over time. And that's the real thing that we sell, is how that adapts, how we provide that support to people as it goes. Did you enjoy that clip? You can check out the whole podcast on our YouTube channel or wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to get more content on the future of fitness.